Once upon a time, in a quiet mountain village named Darveen, lived a boy named Zayan. He was the son of a simple carpenter, known for his quiet nature and curious mind. While others were content with their daily routines, Zayan always dreamt of doing something great, something that would make his village proud. From an early age, he had a talent for solving puzzles and fixing broken things. But in a poor village where survival was the main goal, his talent was often ignored. People would say dreams don't feed empty stomachs, but Zion believed that talent, when nurtured, could lead to something extraordinary. The first step. One evening, an announcement was made. A national invention challenge was being held in the city. The winner would get a scholarship to the best engineering university in the country. Zion's heart raced. This was his chance. But he faced many challenges: no money for travel, no tools, and no support except his father's encouragement. His father said, "Glory doesn't come easy, son. Every climb starts with a single painful step." Using broken machines, wires from old radios, and plastic bottles, Zion began building a low-cost water purifier, something that could help his village, which suffered from dirty water. The struggle for weeks, he worked late into the night. Villagers mocked him. "Ye lad ka hawaon me utta hai." This boy is chasing clouds. But Zion kept climbing, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. He sold his old bicycle to buy a bus ticket to the city. On the day of the competition, he wore worn-out shoes and carried his project in a torn backpack. The moment of truth. At the exhibition, Zion's project was placed beside fancy robotic arms and drones, built by students from elite schools. People laughed at his simple setup. But when the judges tested his purifier and saw it turn muddy water crystal clear using just recycled parts, they stood speechless. Zion won first place. The glory he received: a standing ovation, a gold medal, and most importantly, a full scholarship. News spread fast. The village that once mocked him now welcomed him with garlands. He became a symbol of hope, proving that talent, when paired with determination, can climb any mountain. Years later, Zayan returned, not as a villager, but as Dr. Zayan, an inventor who built clean water systems across the country. He looked at the same mountain that once stood between him and the city and whispered, "I climb not for fame, but to prove that even the smallest spark can light the path to glory." Moral of the story: talent alone is not enough. It takes courage, sacrifice, and relentless effort to climb the mountain of glory. Every fall is a lesson, every step a victory. Years passed. Zion had now become a well-known engineer and inventor. His water purification system was installed in over 300 villages across the country, saving thousands of lives from waterborne diseases. He had fame, money, and recognition, but his heart still belonged to Darveen, his mountain village. One day, Zion received a letter. It was from his former school. The building had fallen into disrepair, and there were no science teachers left. Children were dropping out. The headmaster wrote, "Zion, your story inspired us all, but our school needs more than a story now. It needs you." Zion sat quietly for a while. The road to glory hadn't ended. It had only changed direction. A new climb begins. He returned to Darveen, this time with a new mission: to build a science and technology center in the heart of his village. But this climb was even steeper. The local officials demanded bribes for permits. Some villagers opposed the idea, thinking it was a waste of land. Funding ran short. Even some of his own investors pulled out, saying, "There's no profit in building for poor villages." Zion faced self-doubt for the first time in years. But then, one evening, a little girl named Hira, holding a rusted old book, came to him and said, "Sir, I want to be like you. Will you teach me?" That one sentence lit a fire in him greater than any award ever had. Building the future. Zion sold his prized gold medal, the very one he had won in the national competition, and used the money to start the project. Slowly, things began to change. Volunteers joined, donations trickled in, the villagers began to believe again. Within a year, the Darveen Science Center was built, equipped with labs, solar panels, clean water, and free access for every child. The return of glory. Zion's work was once again recognized, not just by his country, but internationally. He was awarded the Global Humanitarian Award. But when asked how he felt about the honor, he smiled and said, "Glory isn't reaching the top. Glory is pulling others up with you." Moral of Part 2. True glory lies not in achieving greatness for yourself, but in helping others rise with the talents and success you've earned. Years passed, and Zayan Science Center in Darwin had become a place of hope and transformation. Children who once had no future now dreamed of space, science, and innovation. The boy who once built a water purifier from junk had ignited a revolution in rural education. Among the many students, one stood out, Hira, the same girl who once asked Zayan, "Will you teach me?" She was now 17, curious, confident, and gifted. With Zayan's mentorship, Hira developed a solar-powered school kit, a backpack that converted into a desk with a small light and tablet for learning in areas without electricity. It was affordable, sustainable, and life-changing. Her invention was selected for the International Youth Innovation Awards in Geneva. She was invited to present her idea in front of global leaders, inventors, and educators. The legacy lives on. At the award ceremony, Hira stepped onto the stage. Cameras flashed. The crowd cheered. She spoke humbly. "I come from a village where girls are told they're meant for chores, not change. But one man, my teacher, my mentor, Zayan, sir, taught me otherwise. He believed in his talent and then chose to believe in ours." Tears filled Zayan's eyes as he watched from the front row. After her speech, the host invited Dr. Zayan on stage as a guest of honor. He slowly walked up, his steps now slower with age, but his spirit strong. The entire hall stood in ovation. Zayan's final words. Facing the world, Zayan gave his final message. "Many believe glory lies in trophies, applause, or headlines. But for me, glory is watching a student rise higher than their teacher. My climb ended not on the stage, but the day Hira said she wanted to be like me. That's when I knew my climb was worth it." His peaceful farewell. A few years later, Zayan quietly passed away in his sleep, in the very village he once dreamed of leaving. The school held a candlelight tribute. Villagers, teachers, students, and government officials came from all over the country. Above the entrance of the Science Center, a plaque was installed. "In memory of Dr. Zayan, the man who climbed to glory and built a path for others,